Welcome to Talking About Sports, the Carolina's #1 sports podcast. We're here at the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill with an all-star panel as always from the University of Arkansas, United States Navy, and the Clother Classic Celebrity Golf Tournament, William Wilson, and from, what is your website, Ryan Hedrick?
CarolinaSportsLink.com.
You're in a lot of trouble, Ryan Hedrick. We're going to get there, Ryan Hedrick, because we're going to talk about the Charlotte Hornets #1. We have an embargoed video that we may be able to get to. I don't know if we can get permission to show it, but apparently I'm getting told by the censors we're not going to be able to get to that video. Apparently you agitated Marvin Williams in the postgame last night. By the way, they lost to the Miami Heat again last night. Dwayne Wade's breaking news, a pretty good ball player. Did you mention that, Ryan, that Marvin Williams was riding a career-long 29-game streak in which he's hit at least one three-point basket? Or did you somehow bring up the fact that they've lost a lot of games and he's making a lot of money and not producing?
Not the latter, but the former, yes. Basically, in my line of questioning with Marvin Williams, see, this goes back to practice the day before. It doesn't have anything to do, I don't think, with what happened in the locker room. I did a positive story on Marvin Williams on Tuesday after practice. We had a 5-minute one-on-one. Jim Morrison spoke to Williams. We did a nice write-up on him. I even put a nice title with his face growling in emotion. And then on Wednesday, after they lost the game to the Heat, they were booed off the floor. I basically asked Marvin Williams, how's it feel to lose 9 of 13? I didn't ask it that way. And I think, if I had to accept responsibility for any part in the line of questioning, I could have been more positive with it. But Marvin said that I was always asking negative questions and my line of questioning needs to be more positive. And I believe reporters are extensions of fans. We ask questions that fans would like themselves the answer to. And
in theory, yes, but not everyone does that,
yeah,
or has a little bit more tact in how you go about it. You don't hit them with the lead balloon right off the bat.
I'm trying to think exactly how I asked the question. I know Kevin heard it and started shaking his head, and rightfully so. But
Kevin Tolbert, not me.
Listen, man, we can all try to get better a day at a time. But for Marvin Williams and the Hornets, the real story was why are 18,000 fans chanting "Let's go Heat, let's go Heat"? I even heard them booing
I watched
Kemba
that game
Walker.
last night. It didn't look like the 8,000 people were there, much less 18,000. They may have sold 18,000
They were hidden
tickets.
in the rafters.
They must have been off camera because the camera views that I saw looked like there was about 8,000 people there. William Wilson, now you live near the arena. You hear a lot of things that maybe people like Ryan and I don't hear. You know the scuttlebutt. What have you been hearing? I mean, you watch, you see the arena. To me, half full. I mean, looks like to me they're losing a lot of games and they're not going to make the playoffs.
Well, this is the same thing you've said for the last 2 months. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not sure how many different ways you want to say the same thing. They're just not a good team. They're not a team that keeps getting better. They keep trying to find ways to justify doing nothing and using a bunch of BS garbage rules and ideas to make it work. And then you hope the fans fall for it. The fans aren't falling for it. Dwayne Wade, if you watch, I was watching on Instagram because I didn't go to the game. I watched some of the Instagram stuff, and everyone, half the Charlotte fans I know were posting Instagram stories when Dwayne Wade had the ball. That's what they were just doing.
So Dwayne Wade was more of a story than the Hornets actually playing in their home arena?
Yeah, but Dwayne Wade is leap. The Hornets play in their arena 41 times a year. Every year. They'll be there for 41 games next year. And 41 years the year after that, and after that, and after that, and after that. And if they don't get any better, we'll be having the same show every week talking about them. But Dwayne Wade is retiring. He has a big fan base. He's been around for a long time. People like him. He's a fan favorite. And it's his farewell game. It's no different than when Dale Jr. announced his retirement and Jeff Gordon announced his retirement and all these other players announced their retirements, and they go to a stadium and the fans show up to show their support and to thank them for playing. So they didn't care whether the Hornets won or lost. That was Dwayne Wade's night. That's what it was, period.
The NBA sure has changed, because I remember maybe about 10 years ago, and I've been covering the league for quite a while, farewell tours were non-existent. A player would pass through an arena and there would be a slight recognition. Last night, it was a party for Dwayne Wade. And I don't understand why. I'm not trying to be... I know Dwayne Wade has meant a lot to a lot of people, and I know he's meant a lot to the game of basketball and the economics of the game and so on and so forth. But I don't understand why yesterday was a walking shrine to Dwayne Wade. A video tribute a jersey exchange, more than
Who did he exchange the jersey with? Who
Kemba
got
Walker.
Well, that's legit.
Well,
I get
the some
jersey
jabroni
exchange
that I've
at the
never
end
heard
the
of in
night.
Atlanta. His jersey.
I guess for me, the one thing you play to win the game. Like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. The Hornets aren't playing to win anything. It seems like they're playing to make the draft these days, and
You're
that's
getting
not
negative
fair to
again.
the
Maybe
season
we'll have to
ticket
call
holder.
Marvin
Well,
Williams in
here's
here.
what I'll explain to you why the game hasn't changed. The fans haven't changed. Accessibility, social media changed. Social media, now fans used to have to depend on guys like you to write something about them good for the fans to read. Now Dwayne Wade, Kemba, anybody else can go on social media and build their own relationship with fans. So fans have an endearment to them. So let's just be real about it. You guys were the kingmakers. If you liked them, you wrote good about them. If you didn't like them, you wrote bad about them. Now these fans can go, we don't need you at all. Social media has made the sports writer, as far as fan interaction, completely irrelevant. If I don't know who you are, but I know who Dwayne Wade is, I can follow Dwayne Wade on my own. I can listen to him talk to me. He can tell me the whole story. Your editor's going to say you got this much room to write about whatever it is. Dwayne Wade can spend the next 15 minutes. I found out Thomas Davis was retiring, not from you guys, from Thomas Davis himself. He came on Instagram, did an Instagram story, and posted out to the people. The fans, now they feel like they know this person. Dwayne Wade can post something, I can respond to Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade can respond back. And now suddenly I feel like, because I get this all the time on my social media feed, I'll post something, some complete stranger I've never met before, never been in the same room, can reach out to me and say, hey, I appreciate what you do, blah, blah, blah. I can respond back to them. Now they feel connected to me. Now they have a connection. So you got 18,000 people in that room that feel like they know Dwayne Wade. They care about Dwayne Wade. They may not care if Marvin Williams never walks on the court again, but they care about Dwayne Wade.
Like that.
So it's an entirely different feeling, and that's why it's different.
But I'm talking about the culture, though, guys. I'm talking about the culture of winning and losing. It just doesn't seem to be important that the Hornets make the playoffs, and to a guy like me that lives in the city, and to other fans that want to wear Kemba Walker jerseys into April, May, and June to see them make a run into the playoffs, it doesn't even seem like the team is putting their best foot forward. And don't they have an obligation to put the best team out there?
But the team they've got is what they got. The team they got beat by the Heat again for the same reason they got beat by them the first time. They're a worse team. It just is what it is. If I play against Michael Jordan, I'm gonna lose every time because he's a better player. If you can give me a different jersey, you can give me a different gym, you can give me 10 million followers, and I'm gonna still lose to Michael Jordan because he's still better. All this other stuff, culture. I can give you the greatest culture alive. I can build the best, the morale. I can have everything great. But you're still not going to lose. You're not going to beat a better team. You may slip up every once in a while if they just get bored with beating you. The Washington Generals beat the Globetrotters every once in a while.
I think only one time, actually.
But at the end of the day...
And that was fixed.
Right, but at the end of the day, the Globetrotters always won because they're still better.
I used to like the Globetrotters. I used to go see the Globetrotters.
Yeah, now as far as
what I'm thinking with Will saying, Ryan, social media has changed a lot of things. It's not just sports. It's changed politics to a degree. It's changed business to a degree. It's changed a lot of things to where people, no matter what line of work or what walk of life, they can speak directly to the world and not have to go through the filter of, well, as we were talking off the air, censors or editors, people in the media who, like, let's say if you're watching ESPN, whoever's Josina Anderson's putting a piece together, she shot her photog as shot video. They've edited a soundbite that fits into a 3-minute story. As opposed to, let's say, Antonio Brown's a hot name right now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He wants to talk to his followers. He's going to tell you why he wants to get out of his relationship with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he wants to tell you his story, not what the local TV guy in Pittsburgh or what ESPN wants to tell you. I hope that's where Will's coming from.
Exactly.
Ryan's trying to tell you, at least from what he and I know from working, is we're trying to do that type of thing, but we're trying to accurately represent what this player said in the context of what the format we're working in.
Right. But I get that. I get all that. The thing is, you guys are really fighting to stay relevant. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It just is what it is. Social media is changing the entire world. But here's what we're really at now. Social media, now we're cutting out the middlemen. Because let's face it, Antonio Brown could do a Instagram or Facebook live stream, and not only will all the networks, all you guys watch it, they will probably get more views than ESPN Fox Sports and all them combined will get, and it will go viral, and they will get a lot of these guys, if they want to, they really can start their own channel up and just say, you know what, this is what ESPN is going to tell you or Fox is going to tell you. Let me tell you the real deal. And they can just do that because until sports fully catches up with social media, it's going to be a battle you're going to fight forever, because I don't need your 3 minutes may make me go listen to his 25 minutes. And that's why you look at a lot of them, what you'll see on these different programs, say, for the full interview, tune in to ESPN.com / whatever, or ESPN Plus or the ESPN app and all this other stuff. Then they want you to pay for access to the app. So now I got to pay for ESPN and pay for this too. Like, why should I do that? I can just go online and just go straight to his Facebook feed or his Instagram feed and just see it all together.
All right.
So that's where things are changing.
Or the ADSN feed. Now,
unless you want NASCAR, then you got to go somewhere else.
We're going to sneak something in here, no matter what. Now, Will, you have your own charity, the Clother. What's the name of your charity?
My charity is the William Wilson Charitable Foundation.
And then you have the celebrity golf tournament that raises awareness to combat
and bowling. We're bowling this year too.
And a celebrity bowling tournament. I'm working on my bowling game too. It's almost as good as my golf game.
Oh well, they got bumpers on the bowling lane. So
thanks a lot, Will. I knew I could count on you.
So you can still knock some pins down.
So anyway, you're big into charity. How about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I met him, by the way. Raised nearly $3 million by putting his memorabilia up for sale and putting it to work for charitable causes. Kareem's logic was, what do I have a bunch of things sitting in a room collecting dust, not helping, or I can help human beings who are actually alive?
Well, I feel two ways about that. One, I love what he did. The other, I'm amazed that he only got $3 million for that.
That's a lot of good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but that's
Talking
4
about the
rings.
all-time leading score in the NBA.
Yeah, but it's 4 of his own personal championship. There wasn't a Lakers fan. Jack Nicholson wouldn't give him $10 million for all that. That's what blew me away. I love what he did with it, because at the end of the day, whether he has the rings or doesn't, he can always, let's just face it, he can always go back to Johnson's and had to make more rings for him. So that's really not a big deal. So he can get the rings replaced and get the trophies replaced. So that's nice. But the thing is, I love what he's doing with it and the symbolism of it. But it's amazed he only got $3 million for that.
Yeah, I met him once at he and Dick Enberg were calling a Duke basketball game on CBS one day. And I met him in the media room, the Bill Brill media room at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And I talked to him on the side. And I introduced myself, who I was working for that day. And I didn't talk to him about basketball. I talked about a Bruce Lee movie. He was in, I think it was
Return of the Dragon, one of those dragon movies.
Game of Death, I believe.
Oh, yes, it's Game of Death.
Yeah.
Kareem's done a lot for
Where's the green flag when we need
the
it?
LA community as a whole. As somebody who grew up in Southern California, he gave a lot to a lot of charities. Kareem's been doing that. I'd be interested to know, what charity did he donate that $3 million
His Skyhook charity, I think.
Skyhook charity, which benefits what?
People who his charity benefits. To helps kids learn STEM.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Science, technology, engineering, and
That
math.
teach people how to learn sign language, Will?
No, I think it's science, technology, and math, or engineering and math.
science.
Well,
and
I mean, we like Kareem, and I'm glad he did that. He did a good job in that Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it was always a good thing.
But there's a lot. The thing is, there are a lot of athletes out there that do a lot of charitable work. I mean, a ton of charitable work. People will never really understand how much charitable work Thomas Davis has done here in Charlotte and in Snellville, Georgia, where he's from.
Right.
And he will continue to do so. The stuff Greg Olson has done.
He was at the game last night.
But so what? They're at the games all the time.
I'm just saying, they showed him on TV, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, but when the only thing people watch is Dwayne Wade, you got to find somebody in the audience to show.
Dwayne Wade. Will, I've met him. I don't know him, but I've met him. I've covered a few of the games when he was with the Heat. That guy has done a lot of good things off the court that most people don't know about, because a lot of times it seems like what gets in the news is bad news. But a guy like Dwayne Wade stepped up. He's helped raise his family and done it the right way in life.
Well, except the fact that he was cheating on his wife with Gabrielle Union. So if you want to call that the right way, then I guess that.
I'm just saying. But how about LeBron James passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list?
Kind of swept under the rug last night. Happened late at night.
Well, they're on the West Coast.
Yeah. Interesting development, though, don't you think?
No. Like I just found out just now, and don't care. I mean, because at the end of the day, those little stat stuff It's like it's cute for like barbershops and stuff, and it matters to you guys. You guys are sports guys, but it's not going to change what the people in the Michael Jordan camp are firmly planted in the Michael Jordan camp. The people firmly ingrained in the LeBron camp gonna be a LeBron camp. They're gonna say, well, Jordan, no, LeBron played longer. LeBron did this. There'll be all kind of arguments to that. And at the end of the day, once you reach that level, who's leading in scoring and most scoring points, average fans don't care.
I'll tell you why it's interesting from a relatability standpoint. The Lakers have a team right now, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, I mean, all those guys, they're battling for playoff positioning. LeBron James missed, 20 games? They're in such an interesting dynamic because so much money and so many moves were made to bring LeBron James to L.A. What happened when LeBron got to L.A. is he can't relate with any of his teammates. None of those guys can relate to LeBron James chasing anybody on an all-time scoring list when those guys probably won't win any championships ever. It's fascinating to me because here's a franchise that's historic, that has many, many, many championships. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, aforementioned, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, Cooper, Worthy, all these guys that made a franchise great. Wilt, Jerry West,
Elgin Baylor.
And LeBron James is on an island all by himself.
Yeah,
I mean, everything he accomplishes, it's almost diminished because of the fact that he's playing with these guys that are no names.
Well, he chose to go. No one made him go.
I like Kuzma and Ingram and Hart. I think that's a good nucleus of guys to build around. Now, the rest of the guys are jabronis.
Look, every time LeBron goes somewhere, that first year, they don't live up to all the hype they brought into it coming in. It's like a year or two later, they start winning. This isn't new. I mean, you guys are sports guys. I don't know why you guys are acting like this. I'm the least sports guy here.
It is new because it
guy.
Changes the dynamic of the free agency market. It absolutely
It's
does.
not new. It's just a fancier name on the jersey.
If LeBron James goes to the Lakers and doesn't win, what does Anthony Davis think if he's about to go to the Lakers or somewhere else? You can't win a championship.
He's been there a year. He's not even been a full year yet. When he didn't go to the Heat and win the first season. He didn't go to Cleveland and win the first season.
They had better success than their.
But they also had Dwayne. They also had Dwayne Wade, Shane Battier, and a bunch of Mark Miller. They had Chris Bosh. They had a lot more people around him too. He don't have the people around him now that he did then. Let's just stop being stupid about this and try to make a story that's not there. They're just not there.
I don't think LeBron James has a bunch of no-name guys.
No,
I think he's.
I'm sorry, LeBron
utilizing them correctly.
Look, LeBron James doesn't have a heavenly father. He has a human father. He's not Jesus. He doesn't walk into a court and just make every shot. Let's stop. I think this is the sports writer in you that wants to make everything sensationalized. It's not sensationalized.
Let me ask
But what is the history of the success? Again, I've said
won everywhere he's been.
Yeah, but he didn't win the first damn time he showed up. He showed up. Here's what he did. He showed up. The Heat and the Lakers are not the same team.
When's the last time LeBron didn't make the playoffs?
Who cares?
9 years ago.
It does matter because
to who?
Let me ask
And they'll win next season.
Let me ask this.
That's what will happen.
How about win the season after that?
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Let me ask this to
That's
William
2
Wilson.
years from now. No one's going to care. Fans don't care.
We have heard it came out when LeBron went to the Lakers. This was years in the making. This was something that was going to be beyond basketball. He wanted to build up. He wanted to get into movies, into acting,
and he's doing it,
and producing because he wants to maximize his name.
Why doesn't he just retire from basketball?
Because people still writing him checks.
Because he's going to be making $35 million a year, and he can still make more money off the court and save and build his empire because he wants to own a team one day. And I think the branding, and I think this is what's going to go for Anthony Davis or any player who's of that caliber. Wants to go to Los Angeles, whether it be the Clippers, preferably the Lakers because they're a more storied franchise, but you want to get to that big media market number 2, build up your name to where you have other options outside the court after basketball because your window for playing is not very big.
And that's his right, but why doesn't he do the job well on the court? And then all that stuff will carry over. All that stuff
23,000 points says he's doing a pretty good job playing basketball.
Okay, well, look at the standings right now at the LA Lakers. They're on the outside looking.
He's one person on a team.
He's not just one person on a team. He has a pretty good team around him. Kyle Kuzma would be a star anywhere else.
Here's what I know. You are what your record says you are. This is what they are. We can sit there and say we hope this, whatever. This is what the Lakers are. Now, back to the story franchise. Again, just like social media has changed, the fan has changed. All right? The fans, You talk to a 17-year-old kid, he don't care about how storied the franchise the Lakers are. He remembers the Lakers from the last 10 years. He remembers the end of the Kobe era. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about, he couldn't recognize Wilt, he wouldn't recognize Wilt Chamberlain, Norm Nixon, or any of these
There'd be
guys.
about 20,000 women that recognize Will.
Would recognize, and they're
Or maybe
75. and they're
Also-
yeah, and they're 75 years old. They may not recognize him either. But here's the thing to it: the fan has changed. You guys are so close.
I
You
agree
guys are
with
so
that.
close to it. You don't see where things have changed. No one cares about the storied franchise of the Lakers unless you're a diehard Lakers fan or you're a sports fan that's been around 40, 50 some years. They don't care, and you can't make them care. You're not going to make them care about. No, LeBron showed. They're going to say, look. What are they going to tell you? A LeBron guy is going to say, look, LeBron got to Miami. There was all the hype and hoopla, and then they didn't win the first year. Then they came back the next year, and they won a championship, or 2 years, however long it was. He went to Cleveland, the same thing. They go to the Lakers. You know what you hear Lakers fans say when you get out of the locker rooms and off the courts? You don't hear fans say, LeBron fans, look, it took LeBron a couple years in Miami to do it. It's going to take a couple years in the Lakers to do it. That's what they're going to tell you because that's the reality of it.
The fan has definitely changed. The game has changed. Everything has changed. But one thing that hasn't changed is the importance of winning.
The important is winning, yeah, but right now they don't have all the tools in place to do it. They don't have it right now. They just don't. When LeBron went to Miami, you had 3 All-Stars and at least 3 other guys on it that could start for any other team in the league. That's what LeBron walked into. So of course they're going to do really well. No one's afraid of Lonzo Ball. They're afraid of LeBron, but no one's afraid of LeBron by himself.
So we're not on the lead lap.
No one's afraid of LeBron on this team because we can say, you know what, we can take LeBron out of this. And we're good. Or we can let LeBron do his thing and just stop 1 or 2 of these other guys.
All right,
No one's afraid of the Lakers right now.
All right, now we're going to take a break, and we're going to take a brief break. Well, an extended break, Will. Apparently, we're not on the lead lap. Our audio is
Yeah, we got no audio, yeah.
Well, it's not completely. We're down a cylinder currently. We got to go behind the wall.
Well, so some people can hear it and some people can't?
Well, we got to go behind the wall, but when we come, and by the way, you're in a surly mood today.
I'm not necessarily
You
moved.
act like 39 other guys when Buckshot Jones is driving.
No.
That's all I can tell you right now.
No, what I'm telling you is, as a regular, just every average day Joe, I spent my whole
You
life
act like I do when I see Buckshot Jones on the track.
No, I'm just listening. No, and I like him. So I had no issue with him whatsoever. But it is what it comes down to. I'm every other sports fan in the world that gets tired of people trying to tell us what should matter to us when it doesn't.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back when we got
sound.
We're going to go behind the wall, try to get our lead lap back, get on the lead lap, and do all that. So we'll be back with more talking about sports in a few moments. All right, we're back with more talking about sports, and William Wilson, Ryan Hendrick. I think, Will, we're on the lead lap now. I think we went behind the wall. We got who we get? Robert Yates. Did we get Robert Yates to give us a new engine? Maybe that's what we needed.
I'm more of a Chevy guy. So you guys.
So am I. I'm more Chevy guy anyway. Who's the big Chevy guy? Builder?
Hendricks.
Well, who builds their engine?
They do.
All right, because I know Robert Yates builds engines for Ford. That's all I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
College basketball is big. We got the ACC basketball tournament coming to the Spectrum Center next week. This Saturday, Duke and North Carolina, Part 2. Zion Williamson, so far I've heard, is out. He's not going to play against North Carolina in the regular season finale. They struggled against Wake Forest, losing by 1 point. But the ACC tournament's a different story. Word is Zion Williamson will play. I'd like to see how he's going to get integrated back into the Duke offense. But I think it's wide open between you look at North Carolina, Duke, Virginia, and it could be a wild card team. Florida State looks good with the guy from Gastonia. Leonard Robinson, I think, is the head coach out from Gastonia, head coach of Florida State. So I think it's a wide open tournament as opposed to you never know what's going to happen.
Leonard Hamilton, I believe.
Leonard Hamilton, I think that's what I said.
The interesting thing about Zion
you know.
is that they keep saying they're going to ease him back, but if you're going to ease somebody back, why would it be in the intensity of the ACC tournament?
That's if I was going to do that, I would do it. I think.
I mean, if you're
I
gonna
wouldn't be
ease him
playing
back,
anyway.
it
If I'm
would've been
Zion
Wake
Williamson, I wouldn't be
Forest,
playing
right?
anyway.
No, I mean, you don't play him back until you absolutely have to. I mean, let's just face it. Even without Zion Williamson, Duke's they're probably worst case scenario.
Sweet 16.
They're a Sweet 16 team.
Right.
So why rush him back? There's literally no reason. I probably wouldn't play Zion Williamson until the NCAA tournament in and of itself. and I probably wouldn't even play in the first round because why?
They're 3-1 in 4
You hope
games
you're not going to roll up on Maryland, Baltimore County.
They're a better
or
team.
Florida Gulf Coast.
Exactly.
They're a better team with him, but do they really need him? No, he has people looking out for his financial interests, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I think guys are berated for not paying college so much attention, but it's a choice. It's a personal choice. If Zion Williamson doesn't want to play, he doesn't owe Duke anything.
Not at this
Doesn't have
point.
a contract with him. If-
Well, he
maybe
took
the
scholarship. He does have a
right,
contract
give
with
the
7
him.
money
games
back.
and was still the top pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Give the money back or give somebody else an opportunity to get a scholarship.
Well, this is why I remember the head baseball coach at South Carolina for years said he didn't go after blue chip guys. He wanted guys that were going to play as a team that he knew was going to be there. So
They won a few national titles down in South Carolina.
Exactly. When you go chase the Zion Williamsons of the world, you got to take what comes with them, the good and the bad. You know you got him for a year.
Yep.
He's just there. You're literally a stepping stone.
Yep.
He don't care anything about Duke. The only reason he's at Duke, he had to go somewhere.
Yep.
So he's just going to go to Duke.
Might as well be a school that gets a lot of national television attention.
That's it.
Pete Gillen said they're on TV more than Leave It to Beaver reruns.
Yeah. All Zion Williamson is doing is playing for a bigger Nike or Adidas
Hope
or
he's not
whatever
playing the
contract.
Nikes. He blew them out last time.
So
I will tell you, the ACC,
Nike write the bigger check than anybody else.
the ACC is reaping the benefits. John Swafford, the ACC commissioner, was on the SiriusXM college station this morning and said that tickets are going faster than any other ACC tournament that he's seen.
Now,
in,
Will?
in part
Ryan?
because it's returning to North Carolina.
Now that brings me back to something William Wilson has said continuously and consistently. Zion Williamson's a draw. Why do you want to risk your own injury when you're not getting paid? What's a game check in the NBA? A guy like Kobe Bryant when he was at the end, he was making about $200,000-300,000 a game. Now if you're Zion Williamson, you got $75,000 in tuition paid, but you risk you hurt your knee.
Zion Williamson and his first game in the NBA, the first game he ever played in the NBA, could send 50 kids to Duke for 4 years from that one game check.
So
Zion
why is he
Williamson
risking injury? You said it the day he got hurt. He said you would sign an agent that day.
I would. The day he got hurt, I'd have signed an agent. I would have never walked on Duke's campus ever again.
I know I've been accused of being a pessimist for
You
the
have
last
been by
20
Marvin
minutes.
Williams last night.
However, is there any coincidence to you that Scottie Pippen comes out a few weeks before this injury and says, if I were Zion, I would sit. I would sit until the NBA draft, and then 3 weeks later he blows his shoe out.
I think
Not
it's,
blows his knee out, he blows his shoe out.
I think it's an Arkansas conspiracy if Scottie Pippen's involved.
No, because
Him and Will probably got together.
because everyone in the league has said that. Anyone that knows anything about that looks at the financial part of this, that's looking purely from Zion Williamson's position. Now, I don't agree with this from a Duke position, but from a Zion Williamson position, yeah. If I'm Zion Williamson, I do as little as I possibly have to because I'm just biding my time. If he'd have never played a game, he's gonna still be the number one player in the draft.
And the ACC loves it. They're reaping the benefits of it. The commissioners on national radio saying, how the tickets are going through the roof. The Spectrum Center is going to be packed, especially when Duke's playing. This is going to be the ultimate theater. Is Zion playing or not? That's going to be a bigger story than any storyline in the ACC tournament next week.
True,
He's a draw.
But let's also look at if Zion Williamson said 2 weeks ago, "I'm done for the season," he would still pack out the arena. It's the ACC tournament in Charlotte. He would still pack out the arena.
Well, it's sold out in advance.
It's sold out in advance. That's one of those things. This is about television. This isn't about stand. This is about television.
The NCAA tournament sold out in advance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is all about television. Because with the corporate stuff and all this, they're going to always sell out all this stuff.
Secondary market, the stub hubs and the scalpers, that's where the things are going through the roof.
Yeah, but the NCAA don't care about that part of it. But what they care about is television. Who's going to watch television? You know who else is happy about this in the ACC? All the teams who aren't Duke, that with Zion Williamson out, at least have a chance.
Right.
Because it brings Duke back to the field.
Yes.
So now you're going to have much more compelling games televised. So when Duke gets put out into Sweet 16 or whatever, people are going to still be watching and tuning in.
It does. They made a very, very bad Wake Forest team the other night look pretty good. They had a chance to beat them at the buzzer. Danny Manning's probably on his way out. They made Wake Forest look really good. No knock on Wake Forest. They're just not the caliber Duke Blue Devils are.
At the end of the day, it just kind of, it is what
Why
it
can't
is.
Danny Manning get guys in there? It's his 5th year. And they got a new AD coming into Wake Forest, the guy who got, I think, run out of Tennessee because he wanted to hire Greg Schiano, and he got so much blowback that they ran him out of town. And now he's going to come to Wake Forest. And with a new AD comes, everyone's on a 1-year contract.
Right.
The new AD, if this AD didn't hire you, you're on a 1-year contract. If you're Danny Manning, what's your record? You got 1 more year to prove it.
That surprises me. A lot of former players, like Patrick Ewing comes to mind with Georgetown. Just because you were a great former player doesn't equate to success as a head coach. As you know, William, it's a different kind of leadership.
Exactly.
I think Danny Manning's a good coach, but he's in a tough league with North Carolina and Duke. And then you got to think Syracuse is good. Louisville used to be pretty good. Pittsburgh is okay. I mean, but it's a tough league. And it's a tough school with tough academic requirements at Wake Forest.
That's Danny Manning walked into a really tough situation, but he played in the ACC, so he knows what he walked into.
Well, he played at Kansas.
I mean, I'm sorry, he played at Kansas. He played at Kansas. I'm sorry.
He's
right.
from the area.
Right.
So
he grew up in the ACC country,
yes,
so he knows how important the ACC is. So he knew what he walked into when he walked in there. You know, part of who he was, the reason he got the job.
So, by the way, not to change the subject, but I just see something with the Arizona Cardinals, Will. Their management has said that they're not shopping Josh Rosen. Is this kind of like when they were saying they weren't looking for a new head coach and then they fired our guy, Steve Wilkes?
I don't know. I hope Arizona loses every game they play for the rest of the season.
I hope they lose every game for the rest of humanity.
Jordan has
just
just released a statement on LeBron James, by the way, just congratulating LeBron. I know you said he didn't care about it, but it's still significant. I mean, especially watching him climb the ropes.
Yeah, I think the reason, like, this would have mattered much more 10 years ago. I think the problem that comes in now, we're oversaturated with sports. As a fan, I get, like, I live in one of the high rises uptown, and we're watching television, waiting on the elevators, and it's always on ESPN. Right. There's only so many games. And because everyone follows the same model that we do at ADSN, let's talk about the 3 sports in the world and the other 55 sports we don't talk about. So we say the same things about the same 3 sports forever. So at some point, so as fans, we just tune it out. So we've heard talk about LeBron so much. Every time LeBron wipes his butt, there's somebody talking about it and sending a report about it. So by the time he does do something that is an accomplishment, it's an accomplishment. But by this time, we're so desensitized to it, it just doesn't, we're like, okay, he passed Jordan. All right, cool. Because y'all keep records of every single thing. He's tied his laces more times than anyone in the NBA because he played more games than this and this.
Baseball is a game of numbers.
But if you're an average fan, it all ends up being the same thing. We're just inundated with so much of the same regurgitated information that, because it's football, basketball, baseball. So and with basketball, you've only got 32 teams to talk about. But when you got 35,000 sports networks that are all talking to you about the same 32 people, and there's only 15 guys on the team, there's only 3 guys that you talk about per team, there's only so much you can say that fans kind of go, okay, we heard this. So when LeBron passes Jordan, if LeBron passes Jordan in 2001, it's everywhere. It's the biggest thing out there. All these TVs in here going through here, I didn't even see it go through the crawler of him passing Jordan. 10 years ago, ESPN would have had on a loop. We'd have saw that 2 or 3 times.
Right.
I haven't seen it one time since we went in.
I mean, there's a lot going on, though, on the crawler. I mean, afternoon, technically, the way networks do it, afternoon, you're supposed to look ahead, not look back.
But I didn't see anything this morning. But I didn't see anything about it this morning. I didn't know about it till you just said it now. But I explained why they don't care. I did a whole explanation why people don't care. People don't care because they're inundated with so much sports information that it just gets caught in the shuffle.
I think they don't care because they don't believe LeBron.
They've fallen out of love. They've fallen out of love with LeBron James. They've fallen out of love with LeBron James because, first of all, he's alienated the coach. Did you hear that they left Luke Walton at the arena the other night when they left from New Orleans? How do you leave a coach? How do you leave a coach at an arena?
They did it Lane Kiffin.
Gotta go, man.
They did the Lane Kiffin. They left Kane Kiffin at a game.
He were trying to get everybody off the floor and onto the bus last night. They were saying, come on. Teams that are unified And this goes for every sport, from Little League to the pros. Teams that are unified do not leave their coach at the altar, standing at the altar.
Look,
it doesn't happen.
Look.
It is a sensational point of view for one player to have control over an organization.
I'm sorry, is this new? Didn't they fire Mike Brown after winning back-to-back 50-game seasons and winning Coach of the Year?
They fired
Didn't they
Dave
fire
Cowens
him?
here in Charlotte when the first time.
Yeah, but no one cares about
LeBron
Dave
James
Cowens.
is the-
But here's all I'm saying. All this
deals.
we're replacing. We're LeBron does this everywhere he goes. Everyone knows what comes with LeBron. When you bring LeBron into your house, this is what you get. You just know it's going to come into. That's why I'm surprised that you're surprised by this. Because I'm the furthest move from day-to-day sports, whatever. And I just left the barbershop that's full of LeBron fans. None of them say anything about LeBron passing. Matter of fact, they had a LeBron-Jordan argument while I was there. And him passing Jordan never came up. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
That's inevitable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so much that goes on, and I think you guys are in a bubble. It's more like politicians listen to sport. They listen to political talk. They listen to politicians. They listen to consultants. They listen to all this. They listen to everyone but the average everyday Joe. Right. Networks listen to everyone but the average everyday. They listen to consultants and analysts. They don't get out on the street and talk to the people. And say, what do you care about? You want to tell us? I've done it. You've done it here today, and I don't mean that in a mean way because you're a sports guy. So I get it. But you're telling me, I'm telling you, we don't care. You say no. You're this, and Kevin's going. No, you should talk to this. If you go to L.A. and I've talked to 15 people in L.A. that are all Lakers fans, then they're totally cool. They're not jumping off the cliff. But people get into their industries, and because they think something should matter, they don't listen to the guy on the street. And to the guys on the street, this isn't as big a deal. And to these young guys, they're more concerned with Kylie Jenner becoming a billionaire than they are LeBron James passing Michael Jordan.
I think they care about what's her name. The other one that with Tristan Thompson, is that his girlfriend?
Yeah, that whole thing with Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson
that's
and
a big deal.
The what her name is?
Everybody else.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
We're in trouble.
We're not in trouble. Though, you know what? Instagram replaced Tiger Beat and Teen Pop and all that kind of stuff. Sports is in trouble, but sports is in trouble because they're just inundating people with so much information that no one's hearing anything new. That's the problem. Something's got to have value.
So as a casual sports observer, what would you do if you were restructuring the news cycle? How would you present?
What we got here?
Well, starting off with wings is always a good thing.
You can never go wrong with that, Steve.
Yeah, this is always a good way to get started.
Well,
but
how would you restructure the news cycle?
Let's get a word in here with Steve. What do we got here today?
All right, so today we have our famous spicy dry rub wings here. We are doing our steak quesadilla there in the middle and our chicken nachos on the left side there. Fantastic. As always, we're doing $12 domestic bucket special and we're doing $18 import buckets as well. So come on down and come grab a couple of beers with your buddies.
And Steve, this is the home of the VC Rams. When you want to watch VC Ram basketball, you can come to the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill and watch the VC Rams, right?
all 5 of you.
All right.
and what about the ACC tournament next weekend? I'm sure you guys are going to be
this
all
place
fired.
is going to be bonkers for sure. It's going to be packed to the house, so come and grab your seats early for sure. It's going to be a long, fun weekend.
Are y'all have a setup here for it? Y'all have a setup here for the ACC tournament?
Yeah. People will get here Thursday afternoon and won't leave and throughout the week.
No, I mean you can have us. Make sure we're set up.
Yeah, you'll be out here for
Yeah,
sure.
and make sure you don't stick us out there in the corner out there. We want to get.
We might be down in the K&N series.
But can we get some plates?
I like that. VC Ram basketball does come here. We watch. I forget who we play this week, but I always get invited to come out and watch with my alma mater. But
that's very cool.
I'm holding out for like a nominal fee
How
to
they
come
doing
out
without
and
Shaka
to host
Smart?
that. Shaka, I don't know if he's doing so well down in Texas, but he might not be. He might be in a little bit of trouble down there. But
Why?
I don't know. He may not be winning enough for the people who are in charge. I know the last guy they fired has his team in the top 10, Rick Barnes at Tennessee. So he's doing pretty good. And maybe there's some buyer's remorse. I like Coach Smart. I hope he does well. And I don't like the Longhorns by any stretch. I'm more of an Aggie man, Gig 'em Aggies, not Longhorns. But
I'm a Razorback, so I hate Texas.
I know
by
you're
design.
a Razorback guy, so we'll give you that. So
I'm a Cal State Northridge guy.
Cal State Northridge. Are they the Quakes?
Matadors.
Matadors. They used to be the Earthquakes. They had an earthquake out at
We didn't
North.
used to be the Earthquakes. We were always the Matadors.
Well, they changed their name. I remember when I was working in my first radio job, they had an earthquake in Cal State Northridge. I don't know. I just remember that.
What do you assault my alma mater?
Where is that? I know it's in California, obviously, but
San Fernando Valley.
Oh, okay, cool. NorCal.
Yeah.
KT, how we doing on time? We need a break.
Okay.
We need to go behind the wall again, or what? All right. So I don't know if we're maintaining competitive speed. We're not getting black flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're at pit road speed. We're holding on though.
By the way, Kyle Busch got a speeding penalty, and that cost him the race last week. They struggled to get back to fight to get as high as they did. They had a good car.
Oh, he had a good
speeding penalty got him, and that's all. One mistake is all it took.
Coming on the pit road off of 3 and 4 at Phoenix. You got to get it down.
I saw that when he took that corner and the way you saw he got down on the brakes. I said he's going to get a penalty. There's no way he's got, because that first block where they measure. I said,
first scoring loop.
No, he's not going to make it. And they said as soon as I heard Mike Joyce said, "Uh-oh," and I said, "Well, there it is." And he had to come around. And I don't know. I think
hey, life comes at you fast.
Too fast if you're Kyle Busch. But how did Kurt do?
He did okay. Didn't do as great as we'd hope, but they're running good for a while.
They're in Phoenix this weekend. They were in Vegas last week, so I'm looking forward to that race. I know Denny Hamlin, a lot of the Hendrick guys, Harvick. A lot of guys have had success out there. Denny, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick.
All your usual suspects. But here's what I like seeing, though. You're starting to see where that new package is working. You see these guys, there aren't guys 3 and 4 and 5 laps down like it was. Now they're getting trapped lap down, because of caution. They're getting caught on pit road during the caution comes out. But the cars staying closer together. You're seeing more passing. You're seeing more guys having to side draft on each other now to slow them down. NASCAR is finally getting it together. The races are still too long, though. They're still too long.
You lost me when you say there's too much, and I get your point. You're not the only one saying it. There's oversaturation of sports. You say the races are too long. There's too much sports. I want more sports, and I want long races. I mean, I'm a sport, and you tell me I'm not the target demo. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm an old school guy, but I just love more sports, more choices. I want saturation, and I want long races. The 600 is my favorite race.
Right. But the thing is, though, this is what you said. You said you want more sports. You want more diversification in the sports.
And you want other things too.
Right. You want a bunch of sports. What I'm saying by saturated, every network follows the same cookie cutter programming. Let's inundate them with NFL when we can. NBA next. We throw some baseball every once in a while.
So sports use like a 1.5 mile track.
No, it's not that sports it is. I'm saying they use all this. No, everyone thinks they're being creative with the same damn platform. It's like you bring in a clone of everyone else and says, well, my clone is better. No, it's a clone. So what's happening as the average fan, I'm hearing ESPN tell me this. Then I flip over to Fox. Fox is telling me this. Then I flip over to, I'm searching for something new. I switch over to ESPN Radio. But they're all talking about the same 3 things. The reason I don't listen to music radio, because I'm tired of hearing the same 7 songs 24 hours a day. And that's what I get. That's what people are getting in sports. And the problem comes in, you may have a cooler way of saying it, but how many ways is there to tell you to change the light bulb? And what happens is to the average person, they don't care. It's like a white guy winning golf. To the casual fan, it's just another white guy winning golf. Tiger winning was unique because he was a black guy winning golf.
You made me the light bulb reminded me when I was working in the newsroom in Houston. I used to hear the joke.
These wings are good. This spicy rub is good.
I used to hear the joke. How many Longhorns does it take to change that light bulb? I used to hear that. And then you could insert Aggies or Razorbacks. I don't know, but I just what I used to hear.
Yeah, the thing is, you know why the NFL, why people love and hold on to every game in NFL? Because there's only 16 games. You wait all year for it. Mm-hmm. By the time you get to the rhythm of it, you're almost at half season.
We had a combine.
Then you finally get. Okay, I'll say this again. You wait all season for it. Then once the games start, by the time you get into the rhythm of it, you're almost at halfway through the season. Then you finally get to the rhythm. Well, shoot, they're in the playoff run. And then, boom, next thing you know, dang, they're in the playoffs. this over, and now you're like, I want more.
The NFL has manipulated the news cycle to include all 365 days a year of some type of NFL
that was my
news.
point.
Right.
To Williams' point
that
is
builds the intensity. That
it's
builds
the NFL is
Right,
so
they-
big because
the
only 16
anticipation.
regular season games.
Right.
That now it's like the combine's big. Now it's the Senior Bowl is big. Now it's the OTAs.
Yeah,
are
the
big.
draft is 4
The
days.
draft is 4 days now, and then it's training camp.
Yeah. But all that is still going to lead you, if you're a bad team, to max 20 games, 4 preseason and your regular season. So you still, all this build up, then you get it. It's like, oh, dang, the season's over already? Before the season's over, you're ready for next season.
I mean, how desperate are we for football news? They send reporters who camp out at the combine for 24 hours and really report nothing. They don't report it. What are you reporting at the combine? That a guy ran a 4.340? So what? That doesn't translate to success in the NFL.
No, but no. You know why the combine got so big?
Because there's advertising dollars behind it.
Nope. The advertising, the combine got so big because, again, we're going with social media. Guys watching the combine, you're watching all the guys in the league, they're watching the combine too, and they're tweeting about this guy. DK, what's his name? The kid, the guy ran a 4.33.
Oh, yeah.
6'4", 220 pounds. Metcalf.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. Everybody, Twitter blew up about that. And every year, who's going to run that 4.3, that 4.32. So the guys, the players in the league talking so much about it on social media made the combine something people want to watch because they want to see what people are talking about.
He ran a 4.3 in the combine and a 4.2 against Arkansas. Houston Nutt may have taught him that, right? Your guy.
Anyway, let's back to the adult part of the conversation. But
I have to get these Arkansas shots.
But here's what I'm saying. Social media, people keep undervaluating, networks keep underestimating where social media falls into this. The fans we get to a point where the fans are going to run the networks. Because at the end of the day, the fans now, they don't have to go to ESPN. They don't have to go to this.
Well, fans aren't credentialed to go to games. I mean, there's still a level of respectability and professionalism that you need to cover a sporting event.
You do, but again, as a fan, I care about the information. I want to get the true information. And I'm not disagreeing with you.
How do we know what the truth is, though?
But see, the thing is, I don't have to listen to you tell me the truth. If I want to hear what Antonio Brown's got to say, I can follow Antonio Brown.
I'm not saying I'm telling you the truth. I'm saying, how do you know Antonio Brown is telling you the truth?
But the thing
He's
is,
manipulating a situation to a point where.
But so are you guys.
The
Now-
Steelers have to trade him by Friday.
But so are
to make
you.
the noise go away.
But again, so are you guys.
You think that the
What makes you
sports
guys any
media-
better than them?
The sports media is
They're
forcing
not.
things upon the general populace, and you think that the social media world is revolting. Now, ESPN may be listening to that somewhat. Will we have ESPN is banking on, or betting on, if you will, a 1-hour sports betting show every day because, face it, people do gamble.
Yeah.
And so maybe
It will not be hosted by fans, though. It will be hosted by trained professionals. Social media can be reckless and dangerous, too. Don't get it twisted.
So can you guys? What the hell makes you guys so much integrity? You guys
Bayless.
aren't.
I'm
You
not
guys
saying
aren't.
everybody.
I don't know.
But
Ask Mark
again-
Williams
By the
about
time
Ryan
you can-
Hedrick over there because
But-
maybe he
but-
doesn't.
Look at ESPN. What's ESPN's most popular shows? It's not Sports Center.
It's First Take.
It's First Take. Why? Because it's two people. No one talk. I haven't heard a conversation. Okay, I will say this again, Kevin. I will say this again. I can't remember the last time I walked down the street and heard somebody talk about Sports Center. And one of my best friends is an anchor on Sports Center. What I hear people talk about is
We do love
Skip.
Jay Harris.
They talk about Skip and Shannon Sharp. They talk about First Take. They talk about this. They talk about the ancillary shows where people go back and forth.
Right.
That's what they talk about.
People love drama.
But you know what else But here's what other people are watching too. But people are also good. The highest rated show is Sports Center. Congratulations. It's
I don't
on
want
95 times a day.
Okay, you know what?
So they put together 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, and they add it all up to collectively be something. But you know what? But ESPN is still dying to a point anyway.
I don't.
You know what
buy
I
But
that.
you know why? Because
buy that.
you can not buy it all you want to.
You know what I think? I think
ESPN still has contracts. It's still the NFL. It's still Major League
and you know
Baseball.
what? Give it
ESPN
time.
is dying.
Why they lay all those people off a few years ago?
I don't know.
Because
Ask Freer, ask
they
Mountaineer
feel like
Mike
they
about
can do
that.
less with more.
Yeah, because they have to do it.
Less.
You know what? I'll
they
say
did it
this.
'cause they had
I
to
will
do
say
it.
this: Jay Harris is the best dressed guy on ESPN.
Mhm.
That's all I can tell you.
But here's all I'm saying. Social media, and this you're doing the same thing so many networks do, and so many teams do, and you're doing the same thing NASCAR did. You're caught in this holy grail of the holiness of network and the broadcast and this. And I get it, you're protecting your investment. You're protecting your career. So I get that. It's survival. But the other reality of it is you can build, Kevin, you can build up a 15 million following on social media and have your own sports show, sell your own advertising, and 15 million people will tune in and listen to you.
And that's where people fall short. That's where people fall short because the advertising dollars aren't always there for people with a lot of followers.
But
people with a lot of followers, a lot of times,
But people-
have opinions that are just so outrageously stupid.
And
Have
you
you
know
ever
what?
seen NFL Media Day?
But here's what I'm saying to you. If I'm ESPN, if I want to advertise on ESPN, I need millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
If Kevin has his own show,
overhead.
because Kevin he's got a Canon M50, a light, and a live stream on YouTube. That's his whole investment. That cost him less than $1,000. But he's got 10 million followers. There are people that are making $5, $6, $7 million a year. Now he's making more money than Jay Harris will make in a 10-year contract. Just talk about sports with no highlights, with no packages, no fancy this. He's got a following, and because he's able to interact with his people. I can't interact with Sports Center. I can't interact with First Take. I can't interact with any of these. Now, if I want to tweet something, if I'm Antonio Brown, I tweet something. Maria and Marcus and those guys who are friends of mine on Get Up, they may talk about it because I'm Antonio Brown. But not me if it's me or you or Kevin. And that's what's changing. Social media has changed with the expectation of the fan. And that's what's going to change it. It's
All
the
right,
expectation
before
of the fan.
We're gonna cut short here. We're gonna have a final take from everybody, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So Ryan, you got anything you want to apologize to Marvin Williams or anything, or your final thought or anything?
No, I would like to say, go Bart Lundy and the Queen's University Royals. They advanced in the South Atlantic Conference tournament last night against Carson Newman. They're often overlooked and underappreciated in the city, and I wish them well in their journey in the SAC tournament.
We have Queens represent. Who's that? Who's our play-by-play guy, Kevin, that comes in here?
Phil Constantino.
Phil Constantino. We love Phil, and my favorite person, William Wilson, celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, belatedly, to my friend and your friend, Jaquita Gopher. She's a Queens University admissions director. So we definitely want to say hi and happy birthday. Mm-hmm. So I got that out of the way, and
Kevin loves him, Jaquita.
I love her, man. She told me she loved me. I don't think real, but you know, I'll still take it anywhere I get it.
Take the win.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it, man. Believe me. So you got anything, man? You always got something.
Oh, I always got something I can say somewhere. But this is not sports related at all. You know, the entertainment world lost Luke Perry. He had a stroke at 52 years old. You know, people, make sure you check your blood pressure, check all that stuff. Yep. You know, because I'm not sure what it was that killed him.
He liked racing too.
Yeah, but no, he was here and then he was gone. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So, no, stroke's a silent killer. Yep. Make sure you got all your stuff checked out, man. Just make sure you got stuff checked out. Make sure you're good. Make sure you're good with your family and everybody, too. You never know when the last time you go see somebody. Yep.
And my final thought is rest in peace to pro wrestling lost another legend, King Kong Bundy, this week.
What?
Yep. King Kong Bundy headlined WrestleMania with Andre the Giant. So rest in peace, King Kong Bundy. A lot of friends were in matches with him, well respected in the back. So rest in peace to King Kong Bundy. And happy birthday to my friend Inez Hegland, my neighbor. And I hope it's going to be a good one for you, believe me. So for Kevin Tolbert, Ryan Hedrick, William Wilson, I'm Kevin Casey. This has been Talking About Sports. So long for now.
Hey.